So mastering the surrender to our soul and living a longer and more purposeful life, it feels like a totally new way of our evolution, I say.
Yeah, you're right to put it in an evolutionary perspective, but to say it's new it is and it isn't. The ancient scriptures talked about this.
Yeah, that's marvelous, actually.
Yeah, and what I've done is put it into a sort of like a new context, the soul context, and so what I believe is that evolution was never about species. It was always about consciousness. Because when you look at the evolution of species, each different new species had an expanded sense of consciousness.
That's true.
And when you get to the arrival of Homo sapiens 200,000 years ago, we didn't continue evolving physically. You didn't grow 3 arms and 6 legs. No.
Yeah.
You evolved in consciousness, and that's what it's all been about for the last 200,000 years. So it's about evolving in consciousness.
Yes. So, but that consciousness is really intertwined, I would say, with our body also.
Indeed. But we don't need new limbs or. It's all going. The expansion of consciousness is going on in the mind, not even the brain. The mind.
Yeah. So how will people benefit from this course?
Well, first of all, you learn the 3 algorithms of evolutionary intelligence. I know it sounds like a big mouthful, but it's really simple. Let me make it simple for you.
Yeah.
Right. The first, and this applies to the whole of evolution, from the atom all the way up to the human beings, nations, any type of animal. So the first thing is you have to become viable and independent in your framework of existence. So if you've got a threat, then you have to become stronger.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
Now, if your strength is not sufficient to overcome that threat, you now need to go to the second algorithm, which is bonding with others to overcome that threat. So that's the second algorithm. Now, in that group structure that you form to overcome that threat, if you still can't overcome it, then these group structures cooperate to create a higher order entity to overcome that threat. And when you look at these 3 algorithms, these 3 stages, you see it everywhere in nature, and particularly in the life of human beings.
Right. So hearing you, what will that mean for our lives today?
Well, today it's vitally important that we shift from this becoming stronger and more powerful, which is a very male thing to do.
And you still see it a lot in the world, I would say.
Many of our leaders of our nations do that. You see it. We shift from there to cooperating. Now, we're not going to solve the COVID-19 problem by becoming stronger and more viable independently. We're going to do it through cooperation. We're not going to solve climate change unless we cooperate. All of the problems that we're experiencing in the world are calling us to shift to a higher level of identity so that we can cooperate with each other to create a better and safer world for everybody. And that's exactly what happened in the European Union after when it was created after the Second World War. It was nations bonding together to create a higher order entity. So you had step 2 algorithm, step 3 algorithm just happening, and it's everywhere.
And as in every evolution, sometimes there's a few steps back.
Yes.
Before you really reach.
A few steps forward, and we find it's not quite working. We have to go a few steps back, and we make some changes, and we go a step forward again. That is actually the history of humanity.
That's the way it is. Interesting.
And it's very fascinating because I believe because these second and third algorithms are so important to our future, these algorithms, bonding and cooperating, are natural to women.
I lucky.
Naturally. And so when you look at the top 7 consciousness nations on the planet, 5 of them have women prime ministers. And these 5 countries did the best possible response to COVID-19. I rest my case.
I do too.